Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading, where we will be looking at how the person on your mind is currently being affected by what is going on in your connection. We have 3 decks to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. You can pick as many or as few as you would like, or not at all if you don't feel drawn to them. And there will also be an extended, but I will talk about that later. You can also check out the links below if you want to quickly look at what they're about. And personal readings are also available. You can book through my Linktree, and the link for that is also somewhere down below. And I will also quickly acknowledge that I have been gone for a while. I know I didn't really mean to, but some things have happened in my personal life, and I had to take time for myself, and I wanted to make sure I was feeling ready to take on other energies outside of my own and what is around me before I got back into the tarot, because I don't want to misguide anyone or just be in a bizarre place and be reading. So I wanted to be ready to come back, and I feel ready now, so I am back. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I will leave you to focus on which deck calls to you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this tower, you're at the right place. So we're going to start off with these oracle cards first, and then we have some tarot to get through, as well as channeled messages and advice, and there will also be an extended, which I will talk about later on. So let's get into this and see how the person on your mind is affected by your connection right now. We have predictions of growth, weight of truth, masculine. We have the rabbit, animal spirit, and this particular card I intended would represent the energy of the person on your mind, and this card would represent the energy they perceive you to be in. And for that, we have the crocodile. We have elderhood, which came out in reverse. And we also have containment of potential. For most of you, you are most likely at a frustrated space with this person. You could be with them, you could be in separation. I feel like this is going to be a situation where you could be in any type of situation with this person, and yet I feel like the common ground is that there is a lot of frustration and potentially not a lot of good or effective or healthy communication. It feels a bit like this person is a bit flighty in terms of their energy. They might be someone who is more comfortable experiencing connections on a surface level, and it feels like the appearance of this connection in their life has put them in a spot where they're either going to have to let go of their old patterns, of their old ways of behaving, or they're gonna have to run. And I feel like maybe for most of you, regardless of the exact state the connection itself is in right now, this person is running. It feels like they're kind of jumping around, they're kind of distracting themselves. It feels like they are in a place where they have been posed this opportunity to heal something within them. Maybe they have a fear of intimacy, maybe they have a fear of commitment, maybe they have a very deep insecurity that they are not able to have or keep good things in their life. I feel like this is someone who has difficulty looking at themselves, like really looking at themselves and seeing themselves authentically. And it feels like at the beginning, this situation could have been very promising. This could have been a situation that you willingly invested in, that you wanted to keep investing in, but it feels like there came a point where you recognized this person is not appearing in this, like, or showing up in this situation the same way that you are. For some of you, this may have been as a result of you realizing this person has lied to you, or they've misled you in some way, or there could have been things that they like kept from you, so they could have lied by omission. Regardless of whatever may have been going on behind the scenes, in the undercurrents, I feel like a lot of that, or maybe all of it, is already very much out. I'm drawn to this like crystal ball, and this also kind of seems like a crystal ball to me right now. So I feel like you have knowledge about the inner workings of this person, or you have gotten to understand them on a level that maybe you didn't at first. And I think this has created fear and intimidation in this person. And I think they are right now in a place where they're trying to hold themselves together as they are, in the sense that I think they are trying to self-preserve. I feel like they are very resistant to change. I think they are very resistant to growth, at least growth in the direction that this connection would ask of them. It feels like maybe this connection has highlighted certain unhealthy patterns that they have. Maybe they're a serial dater and like they never want to be alone. Maybe they find it difficult to be honest with other people. Maybe they find it difficult to commit, regardless of whatever the exact scenario is for them, or like maybe it's a combination of a multiple things. I feel like these are patterns that absolutely existed before this connection was in their life, and I feel like this connection was the opportunity to liberate themselves from this fear, because I feel like there's quite a spiritual tinge to this connection. And what I mean by that is I feel like it has given you an opportunity for growth, maybe not in the same way that it has for this person. Maybe it has to do with different subjects or different aspects of your energy. Maybe for some of you it was about setting boundaries. Maybe for some of you it was about letting something go, or maybe it was about letting go the need to control a situation. Speaking of control, I feel like this person might be someone who likes to be in control, especially in terms of how they are perceived and how like situations go, where situations end. I think this is someone who might feel very much in danger if they feel like a situation or someone's beliefs about them are out of their control. And that's why maybe there was an energy of dishonesty in this situation, because this person is someone who is inherently afraid of changing, of not knowing who they are anymore, even though I feel like they don't necessarily actually know who they are. I think they have kind of a general idea, but I feel like their perceptions about their own self, they're not exactly accurate either. I feel like this person is they may have a lot of conflicting behaviors. They may have appeared very hot and cold in this connection. Like they may have pursued you and then just disappeared with absolutely no explanation. They may have promised you things, but they may have not kept them with absolutely no explanation. I don't think they have a very good understanding of their own self, but I do think they have an idea of what their narrative is. Like it feels like it's something that they wrote off the top of their head, rather than something they actually know to be true about them, or something they've actually experienced in situations, something they're experiencing now. I feel like they kind of have a distorted view of their own self, and potentially a distorted view of this connection as well, or at least a view of this connection that might differ from how you see it. This person might feel that this connection has been something that makes it difficult for them to be their own self. But then again, I feel like what they define themselves with are like potentially a string of patterns and unhealthy behaviors. They may not take a lot of things seriously outside of their own self as well. I feel like this is someone who has an opportunity to be more self-aware, but I also feel like they have not taken it yet. So they are in the dark about who they are as well. And I think they may have tried to keep you in the dark about who they are, but I also feel like they feel a bit hunted by you almost. They may have felt like pursued and a little too seen. I don't think this person likes staying in one place, and I don't think they like being like observed. And I think they don't like being told, like, I don't think they like even getting advice. It seems like they are in an energy of like, I will do what I want. And this is not necessarily a bad energy to be in on its own, but I feel like combined with how this person might be very disconnected from their own self and how they may be very closed off to other perspectives, it can be very limiting in how they show up, and they may kind of just be stuck in the same cycles. And I feel like that is an energy that has been brought into this connection as well, potentially, if you feel like you have been getting nowhere with this person regardless of what you do. And with this crocodile energy, you may have even decided to kind of pull away and allow this situation to unfold. And you may have stopped like being concerned with this person, at least in like the sense of like reaching out to them or like pursuing them. But this person is very aware that you are there. Even if you're in no contact, this person is very aware of your existence, very aware of your presence, maybe energetically, like if you have not had any contact with them or you've blocked them or something along those lines. It's an interesting energy in the sense that I feel like this person is choosing to stay where they are in terms of their own energy, because they're so afraid of what they might see. But I also don't think they know what they're gonna see. It feels like they're a stranger to their own self. Maybe you know them better than they know themselves. Maybe you observed their behavior, so you have a better idea of who they actually are. But I think this person is quite blind to their actions, and they're more receptive to the story that they may tell themselves about their own self and about their own behavior. They may believe the words more than the actions when it comes to their own self. And it feels like they might right now feel like this connection has been putting them in a box in some way. Maybe you've confronted them and they felt like attacked. There is kind of a tense energy here. So I feel like something has gone down, a confrontation or something this person was not expecting, or you found out about something that they didn't think you would find out about, that they thought they were keeping in control, keeping in check, and things were happening exactly as they wanted, but that turned out to not be the case. And it feels like this person might see this connection as something that has held them back, or that is holding them back from doing what they want. But I think what they want is very much based on kind of surface level desires. I don't think this is someone who is living their life at the depth that you are. And that may have caused a lot of friction because it feels like your energy was inviting them to check out the other side, or check out like where you dwell. And it feels like that compromise was not made, or that exploration was not something that this person wanted to take on. It feels like they would prefer to stay where it's comfortable. And that's not always because comfortable feels great, but sometimes that's just because comfortable is comfortable. Our comfort zone is familiar. It's something that we can grow attached to, even if it's not the best thing for you, even if it doesn't necessarily feel that great. It's like smoking cigarettes. Like, no one really likes the taste. And everyone knows, like, it's not good for your health. But sometimes it's comfortable, and sometimes it's something that we can get attached to, something that we can get addicted to, a place, a habit we can get stuck in, even when it doesn't necessarily make us feel great. It can take off the edge for a little bit, but you may get a lot of coughs, or you may feel weird in the lungs, or essentially what I mean by this is I feel like this is someone who is afraid of being authentic because they don't know what that means for them. I think they may not know a lot about themselves, to be honest. And it's not that they have never had the opportunity. I feel like they have, but it feels like an active choice that they have been making to move away from that energy. I think they feel the need to be in control of what's around them, including people and situations. And this might be to a different extent for every single one of you. It doesn't have to be like 100% always the case. I think the level of this energy will vary depending on your situation, but essentially I feel like this person feels that they are being like held back by this connection from doing what they want, or they are in some ways being controlled or confronted about things they don't want to be confronted about. But I also feel that that is quite a subjective energy that they are in, because they are afraid of seeing something they're not going to like about their own self. I think they're afraid that it's going to turn everything upside down if they face themselves and they see something that they didn't know was there. I think this person might feel insecure about who they kind of have a feeling they might be. And even to themselves, I think they don't want to put the mask down. They don't want to know because they're afraid of what they might find. And I'm not saying like this person is bad or anything along those lines, but I think they are afraid of themselves, afraid of what they might see. So it feels like they almost tricked themselves to be, or that they are a certain way, and that will never change because it has not so far. So why would it from this point onwards? And I feel like your mindset is actually quite different from this person's, and you might be someone that sees a lot of potential in your own self and in others as well, which is a beautiful perspective to have. And you may have tried to encourage this person as well, or you may have like tried to experience things with this person on a deeper level, but it feels like they have been very resistant, and it may have pushed you away, or it may have made them like push this connection away themselves and kind of run off. For some of you, I feel like this person could have ghosted you or just disappeared with no trace, or like suddenly made a decision to end this connection or end communication. So, and before I get into this, I will quickly talk about the extended. In the extended, we will look at what will happen next in this connection, and what path or paths this next interaction or next big happening in your situation will open up. We will also get tons of channeled messages from the person on your mind. We will get channeled messages from your higher self, and we will also get a message from this person's self about higher self about what you may not be seeing right now and what you need to know about this connection or anything else that we are missing. So the link for that will be down below, and let's get back into this. For me, not from me. Please tell me. Person on pile one's mind. How are they affected by this connection? How is this person affected? We have strength in reverse. Leo energy could be significant, or this past Leo season could have been significant as well. If you're watching this at the time I'm posting it, Leo season was quite recent. How is this person affected? We have the King of Cups. How is this person affected? We have the Three of Swords in reverse. How is this person affected by this connection right now? We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. Oh, the Five of Swords in reverse. I'm gonna move these to the side a little bit. Is this better? Yeah. And it's not centered, but whatever. Can we clarify strength in reverse, please? How is this person affected? We have the Seven of... Okay. Which way does this go, please? Okay. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. It's quite interesting because the King and the Queen of, like, the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords are literally looking at each other. For some of you, this person might be with someone else. They might be in another connection, and like this may be a connection that ended a while ago. But I feel like that situation has not offered them the same healing opportunity that this connection has. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Lovers, Gemini. So this person, I feel, has felt a very strong pull towards you. And I also feel like that is because of the healing potential of this connection. I feel like there was a lot of potential for growth, personal growth, as well as growth in terms of like how this person shows up in connections, but also and especially a lot of growth about like the self, how they view themselves, what they think they're capable of, what kind of things they accept into their life, what kind of situations they put themselves in. And I feel like this is typically someone who does not want to take responsibility for their own actions, because they may just justify their actions as, this is just who I am, this is how I'm built, and I can't change that. I think this connection gave them an opportunity to see that. Maybe you even like talked to them about this, and you may have like just fought until the very end to make this connection work or to understand this person better, but it feels like they didn't want to be understood and they didn't want to understand themselves, so they may have run off to something that is more inviting and something that is easier for some of you. But if that is the case, you would know. And if that is not the case, like, don't worry about it if you don't know already. But that is just a side message that I feel is coming through. I think the chaos of this connection was also attractive to this person. And they may not accept that necessarily. They may think they don't want drama and like this connection is too much drama. So they're gonna go do something else, or they're not gonna deal with this. But I feel like this person actually was drawn to the conflict, to the friction between the two of you, because of this healing potential. Because sometimes with friction, with conflict, comes a big opportunity to heal and to grow. But I feel like this person was not able to necessarily pin down or pinpoint why they've been so drawn to this situation, even though it wasn't flowing very easily, even if it kind of made them feel kind of just confused about themselves or angry or frustrated. Because I think this person was definitely, I think they cared about you, but it also feels like this was in their own way and maybe very different from your love language. In the sense that I don't think the issue here was a lack of feelings or attraction. It more so feels like lack of ability, or lack of perceived lack of ability, rather than a literal lack of ability of like making something happen or changing something or growth. Or it's not about not having potential, but this person not having chosen the potential. Because all of these cards, it's just saying to me, there was an opportunity, but they didn't take it. There was an opportunity to rewrite their story, to turn something around for themselves, but they didn't choose it. They wanted easy. And I feel like one thing this connection was easy. I don't think this connection has been easy on you either. It feels like this could have also put you in a cycle of feeling very hurt, very weighed down by this situation and your feelings about it. But I feel like you have also noticed or discovered that this has given you maybe a different perspective or an opportunity to heal. With the Seven of Swords energy and Strength in reverse, I think this person is still afraid. And I feel like there is an underlying sense of guilt, but it's something that they push away and try to distract themselves from. I don't think this person is resilient towards negative feelings. I don't think they know what to do with them. So I think they try to avoid them to the best of their ability. I think they feel in some ways shut out by you as well, even if they initiated some type of no contact or separation. It almost feels like if you confronted them, if you got mad at them, they thought, okay, pile one doesn't feel this way about me anymore, or pile one has changed, even if you were just reacting to their behavior. I feel like there are certain gaps in how they perceive a situation, and I don't think it's necessarily deliberate to the point that they are so aware of this and they do it purposefully, but I think it is a bit like, it's more, it kind of feels like a habit that they have gotten comfortable with, to go with the easier narrative that doesn't hold them responsible. And your reactions to this person, whatever may have happened between the two of you, again, the level of this situation might be different depending on what you went through with this person, but your reactions to them are absolutely valid, whatever they may have been. And if this person hurt you, it is not your fault that you were hurt. So let's see what this person would say to you if they could say, I feel really alone in dealing with this situation. I don't think I can make you happy. I don't want to repeat the past I heard, and yet I do. I need to figure out who I really am. What other message wants to come through? My heart is guiding me in this situation. And one more message, please. What message wants to come through? I'm not the person I used to be. So for some of you, this person may be at a point where they kind of realize they're not who they think they are, and they maybe never were. But with my heart is guiding me in this situation, it almost feels like they are approaching this very emotionally and maybe from a very fearful space. So that could be at the core of how they're showing up within this connection. I want to get you some advice as well before we finish off this reading and move on to the extended. Pile one, please. What advice wants to come through? For my pile ones. We have allowing things to happen. Today I will let things happen without worrying about the significance of each event. I will trust that this will bring about my growth faster than running around with a microscope. I will have faith that my lessons will reveal themselves in their own time. And what? Oh, I dropped them. Oh, we have two. We have setting my own course. Today I will realize that I'm powerless over other people's expectations of me. I'll think about what I want and consider that how I respond to others' needs will affect the course of my life. I will own my own power and choose the course that's right for me. And we also have rejecting shame. Today I will learn to reject shame. Shame is an overwhelming sense that who I am isn't good enough. I realize that I am good enough and that my imperfections are part of being human. I'll let go of shame, especially if you feel ashamed about like any way you have shown up in this connection yourself, or like maybe you feel you gave this person love but it wasn't met with the same energy, or like you may feel uncomfortable about how you reacted to something. They may have blamed you for your reactions, and if that is the case, there is no shame in being human. There is no shame in feeling things, no shame in reacting to how someone else has treated you or how someone else has shown up in a connection. So I actually really like this message, that there is no shame in being you, in being all of you. And I think on this note, this is all I have for you for the main reading. I will see you in the extended in a little bit if you are meeting me there. And if not, I'm already sending you tons of love. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this amethyst, you are at the right place. And I did have to stop recording and then like start filming your pile again because I accidentally called you pile 1 in the first second, literally. So if some of you were drawn to both piles, there could be a connection or something you need to hear in both. Up to you. But anyway, let's get into your reading. Today we're looking at how the person on your mind is currently affected by your connection. And I'll start by kind of looking at the framework of what's going on right now. And if this doesn't sound like your situation, there could be a message for you in one of the other piles or in another reading if none of the other piles resonate either. So starting off, we have the Revolution, the one who needs to control, suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. We have Square. We have the bee animal spirit as well as the gazelle. And this, the animal spirit on the left, I intended it would represent the energy that your person is in. And the gazelle would represent the energy that they perceive you to be in right now. We have fire and we have enthusiasm. So with thunder above, earth below. First things first, I feel like most of you are going to be in separation or going through some kind of rough patch with this person because it feels like something in this connection has recently changed. Some kind of dynamic, some kind of pattern, something seems to be uprooted. And it feels a bit like some bridges in this connection have been burnt down as well. And you may be in like low contact with this person, or you may have initiated no contact. It's quite an interesting energy in the sense that I first want to start with the bee and the gazelle, because it feels a bit like while this bee is kind of like facing the left and the gazelle is just facing forward, it feels a bit like this person is afraid of scaring you off, in the sense that if they walked away from this connection or they did something that made you really upset or something that hurt you, it feels a bit like they are testing the waters and they're kind of flying around you to not alarm you, because I almost get the sense that they're afraid you will just run off if they come on too strong, but there is also a desire to make the situation sweeter. That's what I'm hearing. Like, bees make me think of honey, of course. So I kind of get the sense, also with this fire energy and this enthusiasm card, I feel like this person is very, very drawn to you, kind of like honey. And it feels like your energy really draws them in. And this person might write that off as like, for example, if there was an ending, they may write that off as like, it's just because I am familiar to pile two. It's just because I am attached to pile two. It's just because we were together for a long time, and that's why I still feel so drawn to them. And it's just like because I'm used to them physically or something along those lines. But I don't think that is the full extent. I think this person feels very drawn to you because something in your energy has shifted as well. Maybe within your connection there was an imbalance in terms of how much effort was being put in. You may have put in a lot more effort than this person was putting in, or I feel like for most of you it will be that you were putting in more effort than this person, because I get the sense that this person kind of views themselves as like potentially holding you back or having held you back, or if you would stay in this connection, they would have held you back from what you really want or what you really need. Maybe this was someone who was not able to meet your needs and yet still was like flying around you, still wanted to be around you. With this, the one who needs to control energy, I feel like this person is not necessarily someone who is controlling, and I also don't feel that this is someone who likes to be controlled either. I don't think it's so much that this person feels a need to like, or felt the need in the past to be in control of the situation, because I do get a more impulsive energy from this person rather than someone who would like strategize and planned and try to control something. But I also get the sense that they didn't expect their actions to necessarily have these consequences. And I also feel that your energy moving away from them, if you've placed a boundary with them, or if you are focused on other things right now, or if you're just focused on yourself and not them, or if you haven't like responded to them, or you didn't react to something they said, something they did, this person might be feeling the need to try to get a grip of the situation, like try to have some kind of grasp on the situation, because it feels like things feel quite up in the air for this person right now. They feel very drawn to you, but it also feels like you're just kind of either not noticing them, like you're a gazelle and they're just flying around you like a bee. You hear them, you see them, but it feels like you don't necessarily react to them. Something seems like a bit broken or disconnected in terms of communication or connectedness or consistent connectedness within this connection. I think they are very, very, very attracted to you. That might be one of the strongest things that they feel. And I think this is someone who is not necessarily the most in tune with their heart space. So they may come up with like any feelings they have, or if they feel anything negative, they may kind of just rationalize it. For example, like they're very drawn to you, but they say it's just because they're familiar. This person may have taken you for granted. And while I don't feel like they're necessarily in a place where they are like fully realizing the extent of this, I also feel that they are in the process of looking at things differently because this dynamic has changed, because they can't come to you easily. I'm really drawn to the square and how, like, instead of just, obviously it's describing the square, but instead of just ignoring the square part of this, and that it describes an interaction, normally this would be the fastest path, right, to you. And it feels like now that is gone. Like, access to you is not the way it used to be, or you're not just readily available, or maybe you used to reply to this person super fast, or whenever they asked for something, you were immediately there, you didn't question it. Whatever the dynamic exactly may have been, your absence is felt by this person very strongly, and it has created a lot of longing and a lot of, like, I'm not quite sure how to approach this situation. I wanted to go with the flow, but now I don't know what to do. Now I don't know if I should do something. Is it in my hands? Is it in pile two's hands? Is it, what's going on? It feels a bit like this person might also feel like they can't give you what you want, or like whatever they do, it seems to be the wrong thing. They may have the name Zoe might be important. I don't know. I was just drawn to this 20 for a second, and I just saw Zoe. And I lost my train of thought, but okay, let's move on from that, and it'll come back if it's important for it to come out. I'm seeing a mask here when I look at this. It's a bit strangely shaped, but it is a mask to me, among other things. But I don't think this person was, for most of you, unless like you know that to be the case, I feel like this person was not deceitful, but when it comes to their feelings, it feels like they've been a lot more stoic than maybe what you would have liked or what you would have preferred. Maybe you were very open with your emotions, or you tried to be, and this person was kind of the opposite. There is an energy of like avoidance and repressing things, but there is also now this pull towards you as well, stronger than before. And maybe you have been on and off with this person, or it's been kind of hot and cold. It feels like something in this connection has dissolved, and it has made this person want to be around you more. But it's also this dual energy in the sense that they feel they're not able to give you what you need or what you want, or they're not able to put effort into this connection, but they also don't want to lose this or lose you, or they don't want to not see you again, or they don't want to not know about you. They don't want to not hear you anymore. They might watch your social media if you like have been posting things, or if you like posted a new photo of yourself, or you changed your profile photo even, like this person may have taken notice of that as well. I think in some ways they can feel that you are very focused on yourself and trying to move on, but in other ways they feel incredibly drawn to you. This energy here, regardless of gender, it makes me think of feminine energy, and I feel like you are quite receptive, not necessarily like to this person. Some of you could be manifesting this person, but I feel like you are receptive, like full stop. You are receptive in general. And that is also attracting this person in. Maybe in the past you were trying to be the one to kind of, in some ways, control the situation and control the outcome. But it feels like maybe you've accepted that what has happened, and all you can do is like pick yourself up and keep going. And if that's where you're at, I feel like that has been the key to waking this person up to the fact that this is not forever. This can't be forever without effort or without pursuit or without reciprocity. I feel like you have wanted to give this person everything. Maybe you have given this person a lot of yourself as well. Maybe you've sacrificed things for this person, and it feels like they never really, maybe they didn't really see the value of that. For some of you, this person could have been very focused on work or their own self while you were with them. For some of you, like especially if you're married to this person, you could still be with them. But I feel like for most of you, this is a separation, or something has like truly fallen apart. And I think this person is also quite conflicted in their feelings. I think they feel overwhelmed, and I think they feel small. I think I feel really small right now. Like they need to move mountains, but they're a bee. Let's get into the tarot and see how they are affected by this situation that you are in currently. And before we get into the tarot, I will say there will be an extended where we will look at, give me 1 second, because I almost forgot I was going to film an extended, so I'm just going to say it now. In the extended, we will get tons of channeled messages from the person on your mind. We will look at what will happen next in this connection and what path or paths will open up as a result of like the next interaction or the next happening in this connection. We will get tons of channeled messages from your higher self, and we will also get a message from this person's higher self about what you need to know or what you're not seeing or anything else that's important that we didn't cover. So, okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the tarot. I also just saw 1551. Pile 2, please. What message wants to come? How is this person on pile 2's mind? We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. How is this person affected by their connection right now? I saw the Ace of Wands in reverse, but it flipped back in. So let's see, we have the Knight of Swords. There is definitely frustration and like not knowing what to do. And maybe normally this person is a lot more practical, a lot more logical, and they might choose to lead with that. Even though I do think they are capable of feeling a lot of depth, I also feel like that's a part of them that they often choose to not pay so much attention to, especially if they're busy with something or if they're working or if they can avoid it. I feel like they avoid their emotions if it's like an option to avoid them. And yes, I know there's a typo on the pentacles in this deck, but old me would have been annoyed, but I'm not. I feel like it kind of adds to its personality. Anyway, I don't know why I wanted to point that out, but Anyway, let's keep going. Maybe for some of you, this person makes a lot of typos when they text or something. Okay. How is this person affected by this connection? How is this person being affected by this connection? We have the Hermit. Virgo energy could be significant, or Virgo season. And we have the Five of Swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. With the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords showing up, and they're looking in different directions. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles, which is like unmoving, as well as the Hermit. So it kind of feels like this person is in a place where they're considering every scenario and every possibility, everything that they could potentially do in this situation, or if there are any options for them to pursue in this situation. Like if they can change something, if it would be possible, if it would be logical. Can we clarify the Knight of Swords? How is this person affected by this connection right now? How is this person affected by this connection right now? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Three of Wands, which I'm not going to take because I feel like the Hermit has another clarifier, but we will keep this in mind. I think they're kind of in the process of... We have a lot of pentacles, and we also have swords, like, and we don't have any other suits yet. And we have the Hermit, which is also an earth energy. So I feel like this person is choosing to focus on the logical side of this situation again. And while their feelings definitely seem to be overwhelming them, I feel like they are actively choosing to try and look past them and to see the situation for what it really is and look at it from a more practical and realistic perspective of what happened and what could happen, maybe what could be possible. Because I think they're still, regardless of what happened, they're still very drawn to your energy. I don't think their feelings for you have faded, but I do think they are repressed, or they're like distracted in some way, like they're distracting themselves. And right as I was saying that I don't think their feelings for you have faded, we had two cards fly out. This one did not flip, so we'll just look what it is. It's the Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Six of Cups in reverse that fell and flipped upright. So I feel like this person is thinking a lot about the past, and I think they are really missing you. I think this separation or this state of this connection right now has really made them realize how valuable this connection has been for them and how giving you have been. But it also feels like this person maybe is not accustomed to giving in the same way that you are, or that you might be able to. It feels like you may have a very different perspective and they may have not been able to understand yours, or kind of get on board with yours, or get on board with some kind of compromise. This person might be a bit like on the hyper independent end of things. They may have been the same within your connection as well. Can we clarify the Five of Swords? How is this person affected? We have the Moon. There it is. Cancer energy could be significant, as well as Pisces. This person feels deeply conflicted. I think they also might feel guilt or regret, or a combination of both, in terms of how they have treated you. There are 3 columns here, and it makes me think of the 3 of Wands, but it almost feels like it should have been the 4 of Wands, but they were not able to put those 2 wands worth of energy into this situation when you were able to do yours. It feels like waiting, it feels like disappointment, it feels like maybe you were expecting something from this person and they knew that they could not meet you there, they could not give you that. I cut the deck and we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So I really feel like there was a give and take that did not feel equal in this connection. I think this person might dream about you a lot, or think about you a lot, especially at night when they are alone or when they're winding down. I think they still feel quite like burdened by this outcome. Someone seems to have walked away. Maybe both of you ended up walking away. But with the Moon and the Hermit, I almost feel like the Moon represents you and the Hermit represents this person. You may have been like the more emotionally in tune counterpart, and this person could have been the more practically focused counterpart. And it feels like you're both kind of in your own environment right now and not really interacting with each other that much. And I think there is a lot of longing, a lot of wandering, but I also feel like this person is not in a place to offer something maybe that is more solid right now. But I also feel like they may be wanting to test the waters. So I think right now they're in an energy of like consideration. I think you are on their mind a lot. I think there's also like a tinge of anxiety or fear. But I'm not sure around what. Can we clarify this tinge of... We have the Star. We have the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands. I almost feel like crying. It seems like you really gave a lot to this person. Like you just poured and poured and poured and poured, and it feels like they ran away from this pool of water that you filled up. And they may have filled it up as well. It doesn't have to be like it was just you, but it feels like it was mostly you, or you initiated more, or you did more. And this person recognizes that you have a really good heart and that you never intended any harm or anything bad towards them. And maybe in the past, they interpreted a lot of your actions as quite negative. Or maybe they felt like you were trying to control them, or you were trying to make them be something that they're not. And I think that ties back to this hyper-independence energy, where they may not know how to fully compromise in a relationship. It may just not be something that they practiced or learned or had an opportunity to experience with someone that is inherently very giving and very nurturing, very gentle, very watery. And Aquarius energy could be significant as well with this energy of the star, but it feels like you are at a distance and this person knows that you're gonna keep going. Like, you're gonna keep being you. You're not gonna turn stone cold. It feels like they feel it. Like, you may have turned colder towards them, but this person knows essentially your heart doesn't change. Like, who you are does not change. And I think there is a very strong sense of longing for this energy and for you, because they know they're not gonna meet a lot of people like this. Maybe never. It feels like you maybe didn't give up on this person until the circumstances forced you to, or until they forced you to. Is there anything else that wants to come through? We have the Six of Wands in reverse. And bottom deck energy is the Four of Swords. If you're in no contact with this person, or you are not giving to them, you are not interacting with them, you're withholding your energy from them, and you're kind of just in your own corner, I think they feel quite defeated by that. Maybe they've messed up in the past, but maybe you've never reacted to them in this way before. Maybe you've never really shut them out or asked them to leave or truly walked away. It kind of feels like they feel like your energy has grown cold, but only towards them. And I think maybe they've never seen you in a state like that. Maybe they've never seen you turn truly cold towards someone. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Chariot, Cancer energy, the Emperor, Aries energy. Feels like they want to... It feels like something doesn't feel right to this person. Something is weighing heavily on them. What is this energy? There's something missing. Justice is something doesn't feel right. Justice in reverse. And we have the sun. Like, we have the whole sky. We have the sun, Page of Wands in reverse, Death, Three of Wands in reverse, King of Wands in reverse. They feel like they've sabotaged this connection. And they don't know if anything will ever match up to this or feel this way again. It feels like they are in a place of like accepting that this tower moment happened. But I think they're not in a place where they have fully accepted the consequences of that tower moment. Let's get some channeled messages. I added some new cards, so it's gotten significantly harder to shuffle these, but I will try my best. Let me just put away these smaller paper messages. Okay. Now, pile 2, please. What message wants to come through from the person on pile two's mind. What message wants to come through from the person on pile two's mind? I feel very connected to you. What message wants to come through? I also just saw 3333 on the recording. I feel really conflicted about this situation. What do I do? Yeah. I'm trying to numb my feelings because I don't know what else to do right now. I feel lonely without you. What message wants to come through from the person on pile two's mind? You've had a huge impact on me. Yeah, I saw this when I first started shuffling, and we have I don't feel the same. Bottom deck energy is it hurts me more than you know. The I don't feel the same message, I feel for most of you will talk about this energy. That what happened in this connection, or like the ending or the separation, I feel like it has been changing the way this person looks at their own self, and maybe the way they look at you as well. Maybe in the past they could have like antagonized you in a way. Let me just get a clarifier though. Let me clarify, I don't feel the same. We have the sun, and we have Mars as the bottom deck energy. I feel like this person, I don't think this has to do with their feelings for you. I think this more so has to do with how they feel about their own self, and especially how they show up in relationships. As I was saying, that bottom deck energy is the 7th house, but I think it's a lot about how they show up in relationships, how they pursue relationships, or how they run from relationships. Something about their own patterns when it comes to intimacy, something about their own patterns when it comes to fighting, something about their own patterns when it comes to how they wall themselves up. Something about like when it comes to how they ride into battle, and how they may view a relationship as like, or they may have viewed your connection as a battle almost, and not as a team. When maybe that was what you wanted, to be a team with this person, but they were more of an opponent than like a teammate. I just wanted to clarify that particular message. I don't know, that felt like a bad note to leave it on. And to finish off the main reading before I get into the extended, I will get you a card from this deck. For completely optional advice. So let's see what message wants to come through. What piece of advice is important for pile 2? We have, okay, staying neutral. Today, I will refuse to jump into the middle of others' affairs, issues, and relationships. I will trust others to work out their own problems, including the ideas and feelings they want to communicate to each other. I think this also has to do with, rather than like other people's business, I feel like this has to do with allowing other people space to make their own decisions or to make up their own mind, and still being in an energy of like, I will consider what you're saying. I will still have my own opinions and boundaries about it, but I am not going to try to control you. I am not going to try to teach you, because it is your responsibility to learn. It is your responsibility to heal. If there is something that needs to be healed within you, it is not mine. We also have, and this, of course, doesn't mean you can't support someone through their healing journey, but what I mean with this is that the responsibility does not have to fall on your shoulders. And we also have practicing gratitude. Today, I will practice gratitude. I will get in the habit of saying thank you even for the problems in my life, because these challenges are valuable lessons I can learn from. Gratitude is the key that turns problems into blessings and the unexpected into gifts. And although this is not an easy point to get to, and it's maybe not an energy that is 100% easily sustainable, it is an energy that could potentially bring you a lot of peace about things that may be out of your control in this situation or outside of this situation. It does feel like this situation is in a bit of a limbo right now, so the energies might be frustrating or difficult to deal with. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there is more to be revealed in some sense. It doesn't feel settled, the energy, but of course you are the best judge of your situation. So I will leave this right here, and I will see you in the extended if you're meeting me there, and if not, I am already sending you tons of love. Take care and bye. Hello my beautiful pile 3s, and welcome to your reading, where we will be looking at how the person on your mind is currently being affected by this connection between the two of you. And we will start off with these cards first, then we have some tarot to get through, as well as channeled messages and advice and an extended reading, but we will get to those later. So let's just get into your reading. We have number 44, that could be significant, and this card actually came out in reverse. It's a deadline card. We have body, which also came out in reverse. And we have love grows love. We have the Grand Cross. We have the lion and the oyster animal spirit. And what I intended with the animal spirit cards is that the left card is meant to represent the energy this person perceives themselves to be in, and the oyster is meant to represent the energy that they perceive you to be in. We have inspiration, and we have centering in truth. I think for most of you, this person doesn't know you too well, or they don't know you as well as they would want to, or they knew you in the past but are not up to date with your life that much, or like at a very deep level right now. And the reason I feel this is there is quite like a curious energy, but with the Grand Cross coming out, it also feels like there are obstacles in the way of this connection happening. Also with like 2 reversals coming out, I don't think either of the other 2 piles had reversals, and I feel like otherwise this energy is actually quite promising and is quite like inspired, quite excited. But with these, like with body being in the reverse, one way I would take this is you might be at a long distance from this person. Like it kind of feels like maybe the timing isn't right due to the circumstances that you are in, where you can't physically be together because maybe you work together, maybe you met them once like at a bar and they lost your number. Like it could be a variety of situations, and the degree to which you actually know this person yourself may differ. For some of you, this might even be someone that you go to school with, for example, and they've really noticed you, but they haven't really been able to get to know you as well as they want to. But this person they feel very inspired by this connection. They might be an artist for some of you with this like Leo energy coming out as well, which makes me think of the 5th house, which makes me think of art as well. Especially art inspired by like emotions and someone who is very creative. And I feel like you've evoked a lot of emotions in this person, and it kind of feels like the main driving force here is curiosity and admiration. And that's also why I feel like this person is in some way at a distance from you, or there is something stopping them from getting to where they want to be when it comes to you. With body coming out in reverse, I also have the feeling that you may have made this person more interested in their own spirituality. Maybe you've had a discussion with them about it. Maybe they follow you on social media and they've seen you mention something. Maybe they just feel such a strong pull to you that they think this must be like ethereal. This is not just like, oh, I think you're hot, I think you're cute. This is more than that. And I think this person is quite like enchanted. That's the word I want to use for this. I think they feel very motivated by this connection, very energized, but at the same time confused. Because it also feels like they may right now not exactly know like where this would go or what the truth of the situation is or how you feel. But I feel like the more this person interacts with your energy or witnesses your energy, the more interest brews in them. The more they want to know, the more they want to be involved. Like this lion is staring straight at the oyster and the oyster is just not seeing. So I feel like for some of you, this person might feel you don't notice them, or you may notice them, but maybe you don't like approach them. You just mind your own business. Maybe there is a certain limitation that you are aware of, and this person might not necessarily be fully aware of. This just feels like distance. Doesn't have to be physical, but it feels like distance, admiring from afar, wondering from afar, daydreaming from afar. Maybe this person admires the art you make, or you might create some kind of content and maybe they admire that. I think this person feels like you are quite mysterious, and it almost feels like they may have a gut feeling about you. Like, I want to know this person more. I want to be closer to this person. Because we also have like this fire energy, and then we have this water energy. So I think this person might feel that you come from different worlds. You may literally come from different places or very different backgrounds. But I feel like this person just finds your perspective and the way you carry yourself very interesting, because it is so different from how they do things. But at the same time, I feel there is a common ground with like being open-minded and kind of leading with the heart. I feel like both fire and water energies for me represent leading with the heart, because water floods and fire just like burns everything, like it just spreads like wildfire, I was gonna say, but it is fire. So I feel like there is also some common ground in like which you both are following your own paths from your heart space, but maybe you are like very spiritual and this person is not really, and they have gotten to witness that through you. It doesn't have to do with spirituality necessarily, but there could be a specific hobby or specific interest that you have that this person has like found out about through you, or they have become more interested about it through you. With this centering in truth energy, I think there is an aspect to this connection that almost needs to stay hidden for now. Like, for some reason, there isn't an urgency. There isn't like, this needs to happen now. There is something relaxed about this situation that this person feels, like something that is just a very natural pull, a very natural attraction, a very natural feeling of, I feel like I was meant to meet this person, or I was meant to witness this person doing their thing. I was meant to see them like this. I was meant to learn this from this person. For some of you, if this is someone from the past, they might feel that they have learned a lot from you, but not necessarily learned a lot about you. Because there is something like missing in terms of really getting to know you at a certain depth, especially with the oyster coming out. Like, you are at the depths of the ocean and this person is just able to stare at it from afar because they haven't had the opportunity to dive that deep. They don't yet know if they're able to dive that deep, even if they're built for that. That's kind of what it feels like. But I do think there is excitement and there is a lot of interest and a lot of curiosity. But where you are exactly with this person, I feel will be very different for every single one of you, because I could also see this like apply to a friendship where one person is very interested in the other, and maybe it's also a mutual feeling, but it's not necessarily spoken about very openly or like discussed or explored yet. So I want to get into the tarot, and before I do, I want to quickly talk about the extended and what we'll be looking at there. We will get tons of channeled messages from the person on your mind. We will look at what will happen next in this connection and what paths that will open up, like that happening. And we will get tons of channeled messages from your higher self, and we will also get a message from this person's higher self, something you're not seeing about this connection, something you don't know about them, whatever is important for you to know right now. So if you're interested, the link for that will be down below somewhere. And let's get back into the reading. How is this person affected by this connection right now? Please, universe. How is the person on pile 3's mind affected by this connection? How is the person on pile 3's? Okay, we're taking this one. We have the Page of Pentacles. You know what? I don't know if that's gonna require some censorship, but I will just do it anyway. I'm tired of you, YouTube. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse and Temperance in reverse. Sagittarius energy could be significant. I'm also getting Pisces and Scorpio. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. How is this person? We have the King of Swords. Can we clarify? Thank you. We have the Seven of Pentacles. For some of you, you definitely inspire this person's work. I'm thinking sculptures, Or it could also be a mutual thing or vice versa. I'm thinking sculptures or something that is built. I heard a drink inspired by you. Maybe for some of you, this person likes to like mix drinks and they made like a signature drink inspired by you. I don't know. Like this could also be about paintings, writing. We have the Queen of Swords. When I cut the deck, she was there. Interesting. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Six of... Thank you. We have the Tower. No. Yes. No. Wait, I always mix these up. And I should know from the number, but to be honest, I don't know. Should I be embarrassed? I'm not, but the Devil card and the Tower card in this deck always give me trouble. I always mix them up. So having a bit of a moment. I know some of you already know. It's the Devil. Okay. And this is the Tower, which makes sense because it's revolution. Okay. I feel like you might make this person quite giddy as well. And it's quite interesting because I think in certain ways they feel like they should feel intimidated by this, but they're not. Like, they're not afraid to be them. But I also feel like they haven't gotten to show you very much who they are. But I think they do feel excited, but like comfortable when they think of this connection. I think they feel a lot like themselves, very inspired and very connected to something greater than them as well. And if there's like something you said to this person that was, I don't know, like some kind of quote or some kind of something deep, something that they found very meaningful, something that made a huge impression on them. Maybe you don't even know what this thing is. It may have just been something that came up randomly in conversation, or even something you posted about if you were not directly in contact with this person. But I feel like that has made like a place in this person's mind. I also just saw 1551, so, and this is 15. So the 15th of a month could be significant, or the 1st of May, or the 5th of January. And we have the King of Cups in reverse. I feel like right now this person is not at a stage where they have gotten to really like explore and dive deep into their feelings about this connection, but there is something in you that they feel, they recognize. It almost feels like they've met you in a past life, even if like that's not something you resonate with or makes sense to you, even if it's not something that this person resonates with or like makes sense to them. Or you might be on the fence, but regardless, I feel like there is that, you know, that feeling of like recognition. You meet someone and you think, I know you from somewhere, like I've met you before, even if you haven't, not in like this life, and that's why it feels like maybe you met them in another life, whether you believe in like other lives or not. I feel like a lot of us have like had this experience. Like, I've talked to friends about it. I've had this experience before, even though I don't know how I feel about, like, past lives yet. But yeah, I do think this person is, like, becoming more, I feel like they're becoming more curious. But with Temperance in reverse and the Three of Cups in reverse, again, there is something wrong about the timing or the place, something about the logistics. So this situation cannot come out. For some of you, one or both of you could be in another relationship, but if that is the case, you would already know about this. So don't be alarmed if, like, that's not your thing. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse. They feel there hasn't been an opportunity to really explore this, but they also don't seem to feel frustrated by that. It's quite, like, accepting. It's quite graceful energy. It's quite patient as well. Even though we have Temperance in reverse, I feel like that is more so a reflection of the circumstances not feeling very correct, rather than, like, this person wanting to hurry up. They seem relaxed in this energy, and maybe you just make them feel very comfortable, very calm. Even if you don't really do much, but just be yourself and focus on you and do your thing. Maybe this is someone who tends to, like, overthink, but when it comes to you, there seems to be just this, like, recognition that stops them from thinking, because it just turns into this inner knowing. And there is a feeling of expectation directed at the future in their energy. Is there anything else that wants to... Nine of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Swords. For some of you, you may have recently gotten out of a relationship that was not meeting your needs, where someone wasn't putting in the effort, where someone wasn't, like, fulfilling your needs, where what you asked for or what you wanted was repeatedly not fulfilled, and they weren't meeting you halfway. They may have made you feel like you weren't worth it. But I feel like, I have to say, I don't think it's just, if that is the case, like, if this is a scenario that resonates for you, this person is just one of the people that have noticed you. There is something about your energy that feels quite, like, in the spotlight. Even if you are not literally in the spotlight, I think you are in a very, like, magnetic kind of energy right now. And I know this is straying from the main focus of the reading, but I felt like mentioning it because I felt like it's important for some of you to know. It feels like maybe you've recently been going through some kind of transformation and some kind of, like, ending and beginning. And we have a Nine of Cups up right now. I sometimes play with the cards when I'm just, like, talking, but this ended up being the bottom deck energy. And we also have the Sun peeking out. They're the other way around now. And we have the Sun, and the Ten of Swords in reverse can talk about picking yourself up after a painful ending. Like, the swords are now upside down and they're gonna fall. because of gravity, or they're easier to pull out, like you're not caged in them anymore. I feel like you are like a spiritual powerhouse right now. And I think regardless of what the role of this person is in your life, or what the future holds for this connection, I feel like you are turning heads. Look at all these heads that are turned and looking to the right. That's what it makes me think of. Also this one. Ignore the other heads. I feel like this person is also quite playful. They might be very humorous, very warm, very easy to approach. But I feel like they don't see you as easy to approach. And that's why I feel there was this like energy of I should be intimidated, but I'm actually not. I feel like this person is very accepting and very open-minded. Is there anything else that wants to come through? The Empress in reverse, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Ten of Swords in reverse again, and the Five of Wands. For some of you, you might still be going through an ending. Maybe for some of you, it's a divorce with the Empress in reverse coming out, or a relationship that was long-term that you put a lot of effort into. And it feels like with this chapter closing, you are making space for newer energies, for energies that maybe you have been manifesting into your life for what you really wanted. And I feel like you could be very magnetic to like people from both the past, the present, and like the future right now. I know that sounds a bit cryptic maybe, but that's what's coming through. I kind of feel like the piles today are connected in certain ways, like there is a certain narrative. I don't want to give away what pile and what I feel, because I think you should trust your own intuition either way. But if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, go for it if you want to. But okay, let's get some channeled messages from this person now and see what they would say to you, if they could say anything at all. I added some new messages, so this has become significantly harder for me to shuffle. We have I really care about you. Pile 3, what message wants to come through? I am really attracted to you. What message wants to come through for pile 3? I'm not looking for anything serious right now. Oh, I need to love myself more. Maybe that's why there was... My phone just ran out of memory. But that the recording got like interrupted. I feel like there may be, again, like some obstacles, some interruptions, some disruptions on the path to this person connecting with you, or they may view it that way. We have I need to love myself more, and I was just about to read these two that came out. So we have I feel very connected to you, and I want to reach out to you. And I want to finish off your reading with some advice. So let's see what wants to come through. What message wants to come through for pile 3? We have letting go of being right. Today, I will realize that being myself and letting others be themselves is far more important than being right. Value and worth are not dependent on being right, and I'm striving for love in my relationships, not superiority. I won't hide behind being right, but will just let myself be who I am. And we also have acknowledging my desires. Today, I will release the belief that my needs are never met. I will acknowledge my desires and turn them over to my higher power. My wants and needs are not an accident. Spirit, universe, God created them when I started existing. I'm changing the wording for myself, but you do it however it works for you. So, yeah. I sometimes get so weird when I have to, like, end the reading. I also just saw 222. But okay. On this note, this is all I have for you for the main part of your reading, and if you are joining me in the extended, I will see you in a little bit, and if not, I'm already sending you tons of love. Take care, and bye!